Hi folks, we had solar fitted a few weeks back and now we've been out on the cut for a little while. We can see how it performs and works and give a bit of an update. So you'll see that on our vlog. However, before we go to the actual fitting, I just thought I'd talk about solar in general. Many boaters have now got solar panels, many haven't and are thinking of getting solar panels. And if like us, you're thinking of getting solar and wondering how much to get, what to get, how to do it, there's certainly some questions you need to consider. It's very independent on what you actually do. If you're a continuous cruiser, you're out there in winter, moored up, not in a marina, and you want to get as much energy from the sun as you can, you really need a lot of solar panels. You need to be able to tilt them towards the low sun, and that's a really important consideration. 1200 watts, 1400 watts even, anything you can get would be ideal. If you just use your boat out on nice weather and you potter out in the summer and you're generally cruising most days anyway, well, you're charging your batteries, using the engine, and you don't need nowhere near as much solar, and it'll just tick over and top your batteries up as you go along, as you park up. So we decided we needed 700 plus watts. We thought would be a good idea, and in the end we've got two 375 watt, I think they are, panels. So you're talking about 750 watts of solar, and it's really made a difference. Obviously you need sunshine. The difference between cloud and direct sunshine is immense. You can sort of go from 90 watts to 560, 70, I haven't had 600 yet, watts of energy. It's really quickly by a change of the weather. And that's why the tilting panels make a difference, because one morning, just to test them really, I didn't need the energy, I tilted our panels right up towards the sun, and again it went from about 150 watts to, I think it was 500, just by moving them up. That's the kind of difference you can make by having a really tiltable panels. Anyway, enough of me rattling on. So here is how it went. Have a look. I'm really pleased with the job. Morning folks. Well, today we're finally getting some solar panels fitted and the electrics on this old boat sorted out. There's loads of problems. I mean, it works, but you have to click this switch to boost the battery, isolate the starter separately, and monitoring the batteries is rubbish. So I've been all that upgraded, a couple of solar panels, a really good job we hope. However, it's pissing it down with rain, so it's not the nicest of mornings. But anyway, I've got to go and move the boat down to near the dry dock so that people can access it easily, and hopefully the rain will stop. Oh well, a busy day ahead. Well, I've moved the boat. You can see it behind me just there. Look, see that place behind me? And it's a nice easy place for them to access as they're working on the boat. It's next to the entrance of marina. Dry dock's just behind me there. Look, you can see where the dry dock is. We had the blacking done last week. I got some work to do inside, but hopefully they'll be here in a bit. And the rain has held off. I got drenched just moving it here, and now it's stopped. Let's fingers crossed it stays stopped. Right, let's get me some work. So we've turned up. Here's Phil and Dean. We've just come to get started, assess the job, fit the panels.
Good morning. Good morning.
And the rain started again. How lovely. 'Twas ever of us, eh? Here's the first solar panel. Not quite fitted yet. Big. That's 375 watts. There's two of them on the front there.
The next bit.
So this is Phil feeding the... is that the actual cable or is that just a guide?
These are cable rods.
The actual cable rods.
A bit like a drainage rod, but, but thinner, so we can get through voids. Sometimes they go straight through these.
Yeah.
Sometimes they take a bit of persuasion.
So rather than have wires all down the cables all down top of a boat, we're going to sneak them in there, aren't we?
Yeah. So it's the roof is completely clear. We don't see any cables. It's a bit more work, but in my opinion, it's a proper job.
Yeah, 100% agree. You don't want somebody who sank every single telephone cable in their house under the floorboards and the plaster, Yeah. Now, of course, it's all Wi-Fi phone, but never mind.
Yeah, not all boats let you do this, but sometimes the builders give you a centre console, and sometimes they give you a corner console.
Yeah.
And sometimes the roof lets you get it through the void, depending on how they built the roof.
Underneath the insulation stuff.
And then sometimes it doesn't. But
yeah, excellent.
But we'll get through this one. It's a bit tricky, but yeah.
Meanwhile, Dean here's getting the panels ready. He done put the fittings on, oh yeah, and getting the wiring.
Fittings and wiring, yeah. Don't get labels.
The labels?
Oh, you see that?
Let's have a look. Important stuff, eh?
Very important. The most important.
Well, they are, folks. I'll put contact details underneath, but in case you were wondering, there they are. Pull them off when they're gone. My missus hates labels. No, I won't. No, I won't. So Dean's doing the drilling now, and it started to chuck it down again.
Yes.
Enjoying the rain?
Loving it. Yeah, I need to get that inside job, don't I?
Yeah, you've got the wrong job here. So Dean's now putting the fittings on. This is what they look like, these ones here, look. They're screwed in with sealant, no water goes down there. Easy to remove and take off if we ever need to. Hopefully, don't need to, don't think so. So behind me over here is the control panel for the boat, and it's very old fashioned. There's a switch that connects the battery just to the starter motor, or sorry, the starter motor and the leisures, or just for leisures. There's a little monitor, battery monitor, that's rubbish. So hopefully, well, definitely that lot's going and being replaced and upgraded. So I'll show you where it is, but I really hate. So if you've seen some of our earlier videos, you'll know about this panel. There's the mysterious switch that went there with D and S on. That's the one that connects the alternator either to the leisures or to the leisures and starter. You have to have that in the right position. This is the one that you switch that tells your volt watch what battery bank to measure. Is it the starter battery or is it the leisures? And this is all being changed, and then we'll, as you can see, this is all out at the moment. The wires are going here left, right and centre. We'll see. Now I'll have a chat with Phil in a bit and see what he's found. He was telling me about some horrors. Phil's been doing quite a bit of rewiring and fiddling around with stuff. So he said he'd explain it all to me, so I'm going to go and ask him what he's been doing, what state our batteries are in, what state the wiring is in and so on, and how much better it's going to be. So here's your man Phil down in my engine room looking at all my stuff that's, it's not best state, is it, the electrics?
It's like every boat. There's some people that have been doing work on it that do know what they're doing, and there's some people that have adapted it that don't exactly know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So people have added to it, and they've added to it in the best way they can. But the problem is with lead acid batteries, the resistance between the cables all need to be equal when they're charging.
They're all different lengths, aren't they?
Yeah. When they're taking a load or when they're charging, if everything's the same length, and then everything will charge evenly, and they'll all drain evenly. But yeah, when they've added a bank over here, we've got a different length of cables over to that side, and even the inverter is onto battery number 1 over here, so that one is going to get...
That's just down here, yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to take the load first. You'll find that battery will die first before the rest, and the same with the bank over here, it's done the same on that side. And it's not worth doing anything about it now until the batteries are replaced, because it would be quite a big job. But I
think I'll be coming to you again, if you don't mind.
But the other thing we'll be looking into is the split charging, because this engine only has one alternator.
Yeah. That had that switch inside, didn't it, for starter and
yeah,
what do you call it, domestic?
Tiny little switch. I don't know where it's gone now. There it is. Look.
Yeah.
But generally you'd either use something like what I'm putting in there, and you can see it. That's a smart relay. So this relay is going to do the job of of connecting the two batteries together when it senses a charge current.
So I don't have to sit and keep switching my isolator off when I'm more up anymore, no?
Exactly, yeah, exactly. The problem is with this, if you forget to switch it, you'll end up not charging your starter battery.
Yeah.
You forget to switch it off. Yeah. But also the other problem is that, so there's an operational problem, but there's a problem with the fact that these cables are such a small grade that, and they weren't fused, if you did leave it on and you used a high current, you might find that you would pull such a heavy current from the inverter through this tiny cable that you could melt the cable. Nice. Yeah. And they had no fuses on them, so if you'd have damaged the cable, then yeah, you'd have caused a fire. So the bloke who put this on knew a little bit about what he was doing, how to get it to work, but making it work is not always the safe install.
Getting it to work without setting fire to us and killing it all off.
Yeah, or having a flat battery because you're forgetting to...
that's the problem with flat battery, because you have to keep them to isolate everything. You have to switch that switch to charge the starter on. Then it's like, how long do you charge it for? And
exactly. But yeah, this relay, some of these relays can be switched via the alternator, but the reason why I'm putting the smart one in is because what's going to happen now is if the solar's charging, that's going to click in and it's going to charge the start battery as well. If the mains charger's on, it's going to do the same. It's going to charge all of it. If the alternator's on, it's going to charge all of it. And if no chargers are on, it's going to shut the switch, and it's going to allow you not to discharge your starter battery.
So no more isolators for us and checking stuff, and down here with a voltmeter seeing how much charge I need to give.
Exactly. And the important thing is the safety of the small cables.
Yeah, that is quite, I didn't know about that. So
that's a common thing. That's a common thing with boats, especially off the starter motor on older engines. You'll find small cables like this just put straight onto the starter motor, and that's the most cause of electrical fires in an engine bay.
See, I know electrics quite a lot. I've done loads of house electrics and motorbike electrics, but I don't know any of this. So you've looked at it and seen it. I wouldn't have seen that.
Yeah, they take it for granted because you can't electrocute yourself off it. They think it's not dangerous, but actually the fire risk is
horrendous.
It's quite serious. Yeah.
Well, okay, I look forward to it being finished off. And it's raining still.
Yeah, still slightly damp.
Okay, thanks for explaining that.
Nice one, you're welcome.
So this is coming on nice. You can see the attachments now. Just little split pins. Pull them out. I suppose there's always the risk of, oh dear, what if somebody wants to steal it? But there's not a lot you can do. If somebody wants to steal your solar panels, they do. Right, Phil's just going to explain his tilting system now they're fitted, if you would.
Yes, this is a telescopic rod tilt system. It has 3 different levels of tilt for different times of the year, and so how you tilt them, how it works. The panel's just fixed to the roof with these like grenade pins, so you can just pull these out.
Grenade pins, that's worrying. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, count to 5 and run off.
Yeah.
Yeah, to tilt up whichever side you want to tilt. I find the best way, you pop it on your shoulder.
Put your shoulder, yeah, that makes sense.
That's the tricky bit. Once you've got that bit done, it's easy, because now you can just rest that in there for a minute.
And then you've got the choice of what, three different heights, yeah?
Yeah.
Just by putting that pin.
That's it, but just the height before you put the rod in.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
That's it, and then just pop the other rod in.
I mean, that is really handy, particularly for that morning sun, if you know where you're mooring up, isn't it?
Yeah, well, actually,
you know where the sun's coming up.
December and January, because like your sun is on the horizon.
Yeah.
So that's like literally pointing straight at it. For December and January, and even February, that kind of tilt, it gives you like 4 or 5 times the power as if they were flat.
Oh, I can imagine. That's a massive difference.
And the other good thing is they're just so rigid like that. So you can leave them up in a really high wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when they're flat, you can see that they're so snug to the roof.
Yeah, that's quite impressive how close they are. I don't know if you could see it when it was down. I mean, look how close they are. Yeah. Because of course you haven't got the A brackets, have you?
Yeah, there's no gap in the middle. They stay completely flat.
Let's have a look at the here's the wiring while we're here. That's it. There's no wires running down the boat. Just them.
Just a box. And if you ever want to take the panel off, you can just unplug it.
Yeah, they just plug out, don't they?
Yeah.
They didn't show me how they come out.
Yeah.
That is excellent.
Paint the roof, whatever comes in handy. Yeah, the air draft is really low because you've got no brackets sticking up in the air.
No, but it's brilliant. It's a very good system. I really like that.
Round.
So I used to have this switch, spur to engine compartment and battery charger up there. And I now know what that does. Phil's has told me. Basically, all that did was power 240 down to the battery charger in the engine room. And it was a separate fitting there, but it was connected to both of these. So if you plugged into the SureLink or off the inverter, it ran a battery charger if you didn't flick that switch. So why have it like that? Why not just run it off the SureLink plug, so that when you're plugged into the SureLink the battery charger's connected up, and when you're not, it isn't. So another much simpler system and modification. Phil sorted out for me. I'm really pleased at how this is going. Well, thanks guys, here we are.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Solar fitted, brilliant job. All that crappy electric sorted out. What a mess that was. Thank you.
You're welcome, yeah. Hopefully the engine bay is a little bit safer and it's functionality wise it's a bit easier to use, isn't it?
Yeah, we're not going to set on fire anymore. And
That's what's a bonus.
yeah, thank you so much. Shame the sun's not shining to look at the full power, but what the heck.
yeah.
Cheers then, chaps.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Now earlier you saw Phil in this cupboard pulling out the old connections and changing the plug system. And now in here we have the new battery charger. Our old one was in the engine room and it actually sort of fused and went kaput about a month before Phil came. And the MPPT controller for the solar, which gives you all the information you need via Bluetooth to your phone, which is pretty cool. Now they're snuck away in this cupboard, I'll show you here. And there's a couple of other little changes he made and some we didn't make because we didn't want to do, but let me show you. Now it's a bit dark in here, so I'm going to get my torch out so you can see. And there's the battery charger on the left. There's the MPPT controller for the solar, which regulates what's going to your batteries. That's both got Bluetooth to your phone, so you can get all the information you want while just sitting on the deck enjoying the sunshine. And this here, you remember, was the plug that had spur to engine compartment and battery charger on. Phil did ask us, do you want to uprate this? It's quite an old-fashioned system, where this plug here is the one that goes to the electrics on the boat. That's for 240 to the rest of the boat, and you either plug it into here when you're running off the inverter, or you plug it into here when you're on the shore power. And yeah, it's a bit old-fashioned. Phil did say, do you want me to uprate that? But we're quite happy. It's visual, you know where you are, and you know, why waste money on something like that sitting away in a cupboard which you only use, you know, when you pull into a marina or out of. So very simple system. So this is the app on your phone, and you can normally see two devices on there. At the moment you can only see the one, which is the MPPT, I find it hard to say, MPPT controller, because the battery charger is not plugged in, so I'm not on shore power. And it's got some information on the screen, and I'll just spin the camera around and show you better. So I'm not sure if that'll show up on my camera too well. I'll just do a screenshot if not. But there it does show, there's the smart controller. You can see about the MPPT controller, gives you the, and you can click on that to get the information. If I was plugged into the mains, I would also have the battery charger information on there, but it's not on at the moment. So you click on that. Again, if this doesn't come out, I'll show you a screenshot. Connecting via Bluetooth, fetching the data, and here we go. Now it's currently 18 watts, which is absolute rubbish you might think on such a bright sunny day. But of course that's because if you look at the rest of the information, battery, the voltage across the solar panel is 76.8 odd volts, across the battery is 13.6 and a current of 1.2 amps. Because it's on float, they're absolutely fully 100% charged, and so that just sits there ticking over, giving a tiny little bit to save the batteries, you know, to stop them sulfating up. And if I was to turn the microwave on or something like that, that would shoot up to about 600-700 amps. Sorry, 600 or 700 watts straight away. I'm not going to do that, but that's what it does. So it's controlled very, very well by the MPPT controller, which is a maximum power. The MP stands for the first bit, and I'm not sure about the rest. And it calculates exactly what batteries need, what's available, and supplies them in the, you know, the correct amount of current, correct amount of voltage at all times. So there we are in a raised position, as you can see. Just takes a couple of minutes to put this system on. The sun's just rising over the houses, don't want to point the camera at it. And up from 200 odd watts to 550, 560 and rising. And it's only just gone 8 o'clock and it's an April morning. I don't think that's bad really. And there's Linda coming to have a little inspect. What do you think, Linda?
Oh my god. Wow! I'll tell you what, this is the sort of fret workman you want. Ones that bring you chocolate croissants in the morning for breakfast. Well done, Pete.
We'll employ him again, eh?
Oh yeah.
Well, I hope you found our vlog useful, particularly if you're thinking of getting solar. And if you have any questions, just pop them in the comments below and I'll sort of answer what we found. but I really couldn't recommend any higher the guy who did ours, Phil at Proelectrical. A superb job, he really did. And the fact that all the cables are hidden, we haven't got the cables running down the outside of a roof like so many boats have. Ours are completely up here in the ceiling space, and he reckons in about 95% of the cases that he does, he can get the cables hidden in there. There's no cables visible at all. If you if you want to take the panel off to do paint the roof, just 4 clips, whip it off, unclip it, space is there. Although it could be stolen, I suppose, but you can lock them up. It's a very, very good system. Phil's an extremely competent electrician, and not only that, he fixed loads of problems on our boat, pointed out a few safety features which, well, unsafety features, like high current wires with no fusing in that could have had fires and stuff. He did a brilliant job. So highly recommended, give him a call, mention his video if you do. Anyway, if you found this vlog useful, or if you just enjoyed it, you know what to do. Linda's not here, but click like and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay folks, bye!